Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing two wedding season looks. The first one is a simpler, slightly softer look which is appropriate for a day function like a mehndi, and then the second one is smokier, more colorful, a little more dramatic, something you can do for an evening function like a sangeet or maybe the reception. So let's get started. For the daytime look, I'm going to start with the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Serum, which is a serum that you can use in the day as well as the night. Even though it says night repair, it's something that can be used both times. It can be used under makeup. It's lightweight. It helps improve the hydration levels in your skin. It helps make your skin more even in terms of tone as well as texture. And this has been tested and proven effective on Indian skin. Next, I'm going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude Water Fresh Makeup. The Estee Lauder Double Wear line is basically very diverse in terms of the textures, the finishes and the coverage you can get, and this is a really nice lightweight daytime foundation. Light coverage, very skin-like finish. It has SPF of 30 as well, and it just gives you that very nice radiant and natural look. For the under eyes, I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Instant Full Cover Concealer, and this is something that gives you pretty high coverage. I'm using just a few dots of it in my under eye area, and I'm going to blend it down with a beauty blender. To set these liquid and cream products, I'm using the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Loose Powder, and this is something that gives you that very flawless perfected finish. It helps control oil, but it doesn't look cakey on the skin. I'm going to use this all over the face. To fill in the brows, I'm using the Brow Sculpt pencil by MAC. This is in the shade Spiked. I'm going to use the end with the color to fill in any gaps in my brows and use the spoolie on the other end just to comb them in place. For the eyes, I'm going to keep it very simple with a soft smoky brown look. I'm using the Clinique Intense Chocolate Kajal, which is one of my favorite brown eyeliners. I'm using this along my waterlines and smoking it out. Next, I'm using the Smashbox Covershot palette in the shade Smokey, and this has this really pretty cranberry color with a bit of shimmer. I'm going to use this all over the lid. To smoke out these colors, I'm using this contour palette. This is meant for the face, but I'm going to use the two darker colors just to smoke and blend that cranberry eyeshadow as well as the brown kajal that I applied in the previous step. Next, I'm going to use the MAC Haute and Naughty Lash Mascara, and this is something that is perfect when you want to sort of do a softer look in the day and amp it up for the night, because you can use the pink section or the purple one to kind of calibrate the amount of product that comes out in the wand. I'm using this on my top as well as my bottom lashes just to finish off the eye look. I'm then going to use that darkest color from the Smashbox palette to contour my face. It's just going to add a bit of dimension, which is really useful when you're being photographed because it just gives a little more structure to your face. Then I'm using Pale Pink by Bobbi Brown. This is a really nice, slightly cool toned pink blush just to get that healthy color on my cheeks. And then to highlight, I'm using once again a Smashbox palette, and I'm using these two colors, just combining them on my fan brush. I want it to be a very warm highlight because that always works really well on the Indian skin, especially when you're dressing up for an Indian wedding function. And then coming to the lips, I'm going to use one of my favorite lip combinations by MAC. This is the lip pencil in the shade Soar, a really nice dusty rosy pink. And then I'm using Bricola, which I'm sure you guys know is one of my favorites. This is like kind of like a mix of a brick, a red and a pink. And then to finish it all off, I'm going to use this setting spray by Estee Lauder, which is something that adds a bit of moisture to your skin, also just gives a more settled and a more natural finish to your makeup. And that is the final finished look. The key to this look is definitely achieving the finish on the skin, and I think the combination of the ANR serum and the Water Fresh Nude foundation just gives you that very beautiful healthy look which is appropriate for daytime. So now let's move on to look number 2, for which I've done like a really intense bottle green smoky eye. Once again, I'm going to start with the Advanced Night Repair Serum. This is just going to prep my skin for foundation application later. It's going to give instant hydration, and long term it helps even out your skin in terms of tone as well as texture. Now for the evening look, I'm going to use the Double Wear Stay in Place makeup, which is basically the original Double Wear foundation, which has kind of inspired so many other different versions of it. And this is a very classic, high coverage, long lasting foundation, but the best part is that it doesn't get cakey or look very heavy on the skin. It still gives you that very flawless coverage, and which is why it's perfect for evening functions, for special occasions, and it photographs really well. And lastly, it holds up very well in heat and humidity. It's very long lasting. For the eyes, since I'm going a little heavier, I'm starting with a black kajal instead of the brown which I used for the day look. I'm using the Modern Twist kajal in the shade Squid by MAC, which is a really nice jet black kajal, very long lasting, and I'm using this to smoke out my lash lines. I'm going to go a little heavier on the lid just to give it that smoky base, and next we are going to apply that green eyeshadow, which is going to look much more vibrant over that black base. I'm using the same eyeshadow palette by Smashbox for this look as well, but I'm using that green color, which is really the star of the look. I really like the color payoff of these eyeshadows. They are very pigmented, very smooth and buttery, and I'm just going to pack on that color really well using a flat brush all over the lid. I'm going to use the same green along my lower lash line as well, just leaving a little bit of space in the inner corner. You don't want to take a dark color all the way in. Next, I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown Instant Full Cover Concealer for my under eyes. Since we're working with a dark color, it's a very smoky look, you need to offset that with a concealer, because otherwise it's just going to make your eyes look very dull. And next, I'm going to fill in my brows using the same brow pencil that I used in look number 1. I really like this because firstly, it's got a spoolie on one end, so you can just comb the hair in place. And secondly, the texture is really nice. It's not too creamy, it's not too hard. It's very easy to just get a really nice filled in brow with this pencil. Next, I'm going to use the MAC Haute and Naughty Lash Mascara, and I'm also using a pair of false eyelashes just because this is an evening look and I just wanted to give it a nice glamorous finish. For the face, I'm going to use the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder, the same one that I used in the previous look, just to set my foundation. Then I'm using those same colors from the Smashbox palette to contour, to add a bit of definition and sculpt my face using those darker matte colors. I'm going to combine these two MAC liquid lipsticks. These are the Retro Matte liquid lip colors. The darker one is called Topped with Brandy. It's one of my favorites, but it can run a little deep brown on my skin, so I'm just mixing a lighter peach color and then using a lip brush to apply this. These are super long lasting, very opaque, and just perfect for a long evening party. Then for highlighting, I'm using the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick, and this is just a classic. This is one of their best sellers and one of the first products I tried from the brand. I'm just using the lightest colors, the pale gold one from this palette, to highlight, using the same on the inner corners of the eyes as well. And then to complete the look, I'm using a little bit of Melba by MAC, which is one of my favorite blushes. It's a matte finish blush. It's like a dirty, earthy peach color. It works really well when you are wearing very colorful eyeshadows, especially in colors like blue and green, and if you're doing a warm nude lip. And that is the final finished evening look. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.